Hello, good afternoon. I'm going to speak about the blockchain implementation for supply chain, focusing on components, provenance, and traceability. First of all, the introduction. Then the intention of this whole presentation is to provide an overview about the benefits of implementing blockchain technology on the supply chain operations. Since I am working on an electronic component manufacturing company, I focusing all these on a company of such characteristics. This is aiming to enhance the procurement of electronic components in the whole supply chain. How this technology can help to guarantee the authenticity and genuity of the components, also the provenance, transparency in the quotation process, fraud reduction, and how blockchain can efficient all the supply chain processes. For instance, the broker buy purchases, which are the purchases we make with independent distributors. Okay, why is vital to procure non-counterfeit electronic components? I need to create this in order to put you in context. Uh, we use these components on high stakes applications because we have a lot of healthcare and aerospace and defense customers. These components often are in medical equipment, such robots for open heart surgeries. I'm making it a little bit dramatic, and also mm, system visions for combat tanks, for instance. There is a lot of regulatory compliance that we need to have in a company, and also our customers need to comply with a lot of regulatory out there. We have a very stringent quality control. We need to guarantee the reliability of the end product we manufacture to our customers. We need to guarantee safety and security. We need to face complex supply chains since the components are passing for several stages and hence during the whole procurement process there can be failures or we are um, in danger to procure counterfeit materials. We need to secure the customer satisfaction, and we are often dealing with cost pressures and financial impacts. Imagine if for some reasons we procure one counterfeit material and the end finished good we sold to our customer fails in the field out there is going to be very costly for the company, and it can lead to lawsuits, for instance, and the overall reputation of the company can be compromised. And also, this can damage the supply chain integrity. That's why it is vital to procure non-counterfeit electronics. Okay, um, I am proposing to implement blockchain technology to mitigate risk and increase efficiency in the overall supply chain process. Blockchain technology can help to mitigate the risks associated with procuring electronic components in several ways. I'm going to mention the most important ones. For instance, the provenance and history, which is critical for a company like the one in which I work, which is Plexus Electronics. Blockchain can track and store data, such date codes and lot codes, which has to do with dates in which the components were manufactured. Uh, it can contain the storage and transportation data, how the components were uh, storage and how or in which transportation methods. For instance, there are very delicate components that cannot be transported in boats because of the salt in the sea can damage the components, for instance. This way, we can secure a correct management on the logistics and the overall supply chain. It can have we can be benefit of the smart contracts, which are self-executing contracts with the terms of the agreement directly written into lines of code. I mean, we can manage and we can negotiate with our suppliers the pricing, uh, the quantities to procure, and for instance, the Incoterms or transportation mode, delivery dates, and all this information can be contained on a self-executing smart contract. Also, we can have a lot about transparency and trust because all blockchain data is visible to all participants in the blockchain platform. We can have more security because blockchain is decentralized and encrypted. It is highly resistant to tampering. We can secure that we are complying with all the regulations we need to comply because the immutable records can serve as proof that all necessary quality control checks and standards have been met. Very important on the procuring of electronic components for customers such healthcare and aerospace sectors. Okay, uh, to implement blockchain will help us to be more agile and simplify a lot of processes. To migrate to blockchain technology can represent significant time and cost reductions by simplifying supply chain processes, such the request for quotations, right? At the time to request a quote with a supplier, you can store all this data into a smart contract in order to assure the pricing and also the Incoterms, for instance. You can secure that you are complying with your internal quality approvals. Blockchain allows immutable records, traceability, authenticity, and so forth. Uh, you will be more agile at the time to pay to your suppliers and avoid any account payable issue because of the smart contract. Everything was record on there, the pricing, the quantities, and everything. Uh, you can enhance the procurement process. You can have a more agile uh, purchase order release, for instance, that can be automated with a smart contract. You, as a supply chain specialist, can set up the rules on the system, such pricing, such minimum order quantity, terms of delivery, and also date of delivery, for instance. Right? All these can be set up into an agreement, and this is going to enhance your overall process because you are going to automate this, and you will relieve the buyer's workload, and your company will be more efficient at the end of the day. This is going to help you with the supplier selection because you will prioritize suppliers that can engage with the blockchain as well. And you will also mitigate purchase price variance because, as I mentioned before, you agreed upon prior to release the purchase order uh, at which price, what kind of quantities, which transportation methods, and so forth. And you will, at the end of the day, increase your customer satisfaction. Okay, how are we are going to select the best blockchain platform? Since this technology has gained significant attention in enhancing supply chain traceability, its ability to provide transparency, immutability, and secure data storage makes the blockchain a promising solution, of course. You need to consider a scalable with a high throughput platform, which can be able to handle high volumes of transaction efficiently without compromising performance or causing any kind of delays in the supply chain processes. Also, you need to pick up or select a platform that can provide you data privacy and security, with a very good encryption and access control mechanisms in order to avoid compromise any supply chain sensitive data, such agreements with your suppliers, customer contracts, pricing information, quality information, or any secret customer proprietary that you can compromise. Um, you need to secure this platform can have interoperability and integration with your existing systems, such your ERP. Your you need to secure that this platform has mechanisms to link with APIs, so the blockchain and your whole enterprise systems can be linked together. Also, this new platform that you of your choice needs to have a smart contracting functionality, because this way you would be able to automate and enforce your supply chain processes. The best news here are, or the good news, sorry, is that most of the current blockchain platforms are enabled to have smart contract functionality. Also, you need to secure this blockchain platform has a very good governance and consensus mechanisms, which can ensure decentralized decision making to avoid single point failures. Right, the platforms that I research that have these features are Avalanche, Ethereum, or Polkadot. These are state of the art blockchain platforms. And in Avalanche, for instance, there are a lot of enterprises related with supply chain traceability that are developing their solutions under that platform. You need to consider the cost and sustainability, of course, the transaction fees, the infrastructure requirements for your enterprise, and the ongoing maintenance, of course. This needs to be user friendly and have a lot of developer support. Okay, which cost you are going to incur with this? Implementing blockchain in the supply chain incurs in various costs that the enterprise needs to consider. The key ones are development and integration costs. You need to, as I mentioned before, to make sure that this blockchain platform of choice can integrate perfectly with your current ERP system or with your current enterprise systems, right? In order to avoid any impact to your daily operations. You need to consider infrastructure costs, such blockchain nodes and storage, whether if it's going to be in private data centers or in cloud, such like Amazon Web Services solutions. You need to consider transaction fees or the validators fees, which are the rewards that you need to provide in order to validate and make consensus on your transactions. You need to consider a lot of training and education for the whole enterprise, because this is going to be a commitment for the whole enterprise itself. You need to consider the maintenance and upgrades to the platform in order to be up to date with the trends. And this one is particularly critical. You need to consider collaborative efforts and partnerships with the stakeholders, such suppliers. You need to have suppliers engaged with the blockchain in order to make this happen. Otherwise, it's not going to happen, I'm afraid. You need to engage logistic partners, which I research a lot of enterprises are engaged in the blockchain processes right now, and you need to engage your customers as well. Uh, and also the return on investment. You need to make a very good return on investment analysis, assessing the long-term benefits. And one of the, as I mentioned before, are improved efficiency in the whole operation, fraud reduction, enhanced brand reputation for your company, for your customer, and more customer trusts. Okay, and in conclusion, the implementation on blockchain is going to be very complex and cost at the beginning, I'm afraid. This is a new technology, and all the companies out there offering solutions in blockchain are um, are quite expensive, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I believe the, the return of investment is going to worth it. Um, I know this can be complex and can introduce new challenges, such the need for standardization across different blockchains and the need to protect the privacy of certain types of data. As I mentioned, in the supply chain, there is a lot of sensitive data that is involved, and we need to protect. Also, it would be necessary to find key strategic suppliers that have already adopted this technology or at least are willing to do it along with us or with the company. Blockchain has the potential to reduce uncertainty in the supply chain and guarantee full traceability of the components, which is critical, as I mentioned, in a company of electronic manufacturing processes that has military and healthcare customers. Traceability is critical. Uh, this will help the companies to be more efficient and profitable at the end of the day. Also, the implementation of blockchain will be high, high cost at the beginning. However, the potential return of investment is going to be very high as well. Do all the efficiencies that would be translated into huge cost savings at the end of the day. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Blockchain is very new. Blockchain is a technology that I need to for sure understand more, and I'm going to deep dive into it in the future because I believe that the companies that doesn't adopt these trend are going to be left behind. So thank you for watching, and